The death of Caesar marked a new era in Roman history. In his will, Caesar named Augustus as his rightful heir, giving him the legal status of adopted son and designated successor. Although others also held positions of power alongside Augustus for a time, he ultimately emerged as the primary ruler, succeeding Julius Caesar under the title Gaius Julius Caesar Octavianus. This history is presented as a commentary on Suetonius, The Lives of the 12 Caesars. It is part of a broader historical series available on my channel. Although each video can be viewed independently, there is no need to watch the others beforehand, and they can be understood on their own. However, if you are interested, you are welcome to explore the other videos as well. The section of Octavian, or Augustus, begins with a story that took place after the death of Caesar and recalls the divine fate of Augustus. It tells a street named after him and an altar. The story comes from an incident when Augustus had been chosen as general in a war. As he was sacrificing to Mars, the enemy launched a sudden attack. In response, Augustus quickly seized the entrail of the animal from the fire and placed them raw upon the altar. Afterwards, he went into battle and emerged victorious. From that day on, this act marked a symbolic ritual. The entrails of the sacrificed animal were to be laid raw upon the altar, while the rest of the victim was carried to the ruling family. Although Suetonius does not explain why this ritual existed in the first place, from the broader historical tradition, as what I can find, it can be traced back to Hesiod's Theogony. The story of Prometheus is also mentioned by other writers, including Plato, Aeschylus, and several Roman poets. However, the sacrificial ritual performed by Augustus and the Romans was shaped more directly by the Indo-European ritual structure. The Romans typically burned the entrails and offered them to the gods, a practice deeply influenced by Etruscan divination, which itself had absorbed much from Greek culture. In this sense, the tradition can be seen as indirectly connected to the Greek figure of Prometheus. The family of Augustus was admitted to the Senate by Tarquinius Priscus, who according to some was a mythical king of Rome and the fifth on the list of rulers. They were placed among the patricians, but over time shifted into the plebeian class. Later during Caesar's reign, they were restored to patricians' status. The first member of the family to rise in rank was Caius Rufus, who had two sons, whose descendants experienced very different fortunes. Augustus came from the line of Caius, whose family remained in the equestrian order until his father, Gaius Octavius. Gaius Octavius is often referred to in broader history as a novus homo, or a new man from the equestrian order. Not originally part of the aristocracy, the equestrian class stood above commoners but below senators, consisting of wealthy individuals. What we know of Augustus' great-grandfather is his service as a tribune in the Second Punic War in Sicily under the command of Aemilius Paulus. However, this detail was never acknowledged by Augustus himself, or perhaps, as Suetonius suggests, no further information was available. From Augustus' own account, the family history begins with what was mentioned earlier, his father being the first to hold the rank of a senator. Mark Antony provides a very different version, claiming that Augustus' great-grandfather was a rope maker and his grandfather a usurer. Yet this account is problematic since Suetonius argues that Augustus' father, Gaius Octavius, from his earliest years lived with distinction rather than as a moneylender or one engaged in scattering bribes. After his praetorship, Gaius Octavius received Macedonia as his province by lot, and on his journey there he defeated opponents connected with armies of Spartacus and Catiline. His achievements were notable enough that Cicero in a letter advised his brother, then serving as proconsul in Asia, to follow his example. His father later left Macedonia and sought to stand as a candidate for the consulship, but he died suddenly, leaving behind a daughter by Iteria, another daughter Octavia the Younger, and Augustus, born to his second wife Atia. Atia herself was the daughter of Caesar's sister Julia. Mark Antony, however, spread different accounts claiming that Augustus' mother Atia was of African descent and that his great-grandfather kept a perfume shop. In this vein, there even serves a letter that mocks Augustus as the son not only of a baker but also of a usurer. Cassius of Parma expressed similar scorn, addressing Augustus as a lump of his mother's dough, which a money changer of Nerulum, taking from the newest bakehouse of Aricia, kneaded into some shape with his hands, all discolored by the fingering of money. These statements, though striking, come from hostile sources. According to Suetonius, such claims are doubtful, and he himself casts suspicion on Antony's words, suggesting we might do the same with these as well. Such then was the debated descent of Augustus, known more widely as Octavian. This concludes the account of his lineage, household, and the traditions surrounding it. Thank you so much for watching, and please don't forget to subscribe.